Hello there, it's Sean and welcome to this video, how to close your first 3 high ticket clients. So if it ever gets to a point in the video where it feels like there's a lot of content, a lot of steps, I always want to bring us back to this diagram right here to simplify and bring clarity that it's essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 simple steps. Okay, if you are someone that sells transformation, okay, and that means you are a coach, a consultant, an expert, and you help people with fitness, losing weight, gaining muscle, eating right. You teach business, marketing, copywriting, branding. You help people with social media, getting better at videos. You are in spirituality. You do some form of metaphysical kind of work. Okay, alternative healing, meditation, human design, self-love, or I've even seen people that helps to place chefs or teach horse riding or handstand, right? And underneath all this information, underneath all this content, you're not just selling information. Why people come to you is because, first of all, you have transformed. You understand the transformation. You get it. You have lived it. And so people can tell and they can see your journey. Even if you haven't really begun to promote yourself, you haven't really begun to market yourself online, you haven't really found your voice, or you're not sure how, or you haven't gained that confidence to say, I know I'm an expert, and you already know you're an expert, but you haven't gained the confidence to say, I'm going to put myself out there and say that I know my stuff and I can help people. But you are at the point where you know that it's time to do it. You want to do it because job security isn't job security anymore, and you realize that, okay, then the only way to truly have that so-called security is by building my own thing, having my own thing. You know, it's fine if you want to stay in a job, go back to work, but you're like, I want to build all these things up on my free time so that whenever I need it, you know, my offer is already created, people know about me and my service, right? And I'm good to go, and I can always fall back on this thing that I will create completely online. I'm going to deliver completely online. I'm going to make it high ticket. I'm going to make it scalable, high ticket, so that I only attract the best clients that invest in themselves, pay in full, show up, do the work. And because it's a high ticket model, I probably only need 3 sales a month to hit my income goals, or at least replace what I'm currently earning. This video is for you. Okay, so if it ever feels like there's too many steps, always come back to this roadmap and things will be clear if you always go back to simplicity. Okay, so how to land your first 3 high ticket clients? A lot of people just don't start, or they start and they get lost, or they get overwhelmed, or they run in circles and they make detours after detours after detours because they're not focusing on the real needle movers. It's crazy to think that, and I've let this happen to me before, and I went to build a website first. I went to build all the funnel steps first. I got ClickFunnels, I built all the sales pages, I learned copy, I did the 1 funnel away challenge, which was fantastic. I made my own logo, I printed my name cards, and I analyzed the whole thing, and I even spent months building out the whole members area. I paid for Thinkific, I paid for Kajabi, I paid for all those things, and I built out 6 months worth of content, thinking that, okay, I'm going to create this offer, create this program, and then I launched. And guess what? It wasn't what people were looking for. I had to keep adjusting. I had to keep tweaking what I already done, and I created the whole thing from my own perspective, my own point of view. And the first batch of people that I took them through, they were like, well, that's a lot of content, and we don't understand this, and it was just like too advanced, too complex, And they were like, dude, we just want something simple. And I realized like, oh my God, I had just spent 5 figures, multiple 5 figures worth of coaching and training and software and funnels. And it's not even about the money. It was all that time, the whole year. I remember just working on the business, working. And then I realized I was doing all the things that were meant to scale. These are things that if you have something that already works, running the ads, building the funnels, hiring sellers and closers, automating your system, like all these advanced stuff, they only come in once your offer is validated. That's the foundation. Without the foundation, you try and do all these things to scale, you're really just wasting your time, because we don't even know if anyone even wants or even gets your thing. That's the whole point of validating the offer. And to validate is really simple. You just want to make sure you can find 3 ideal clients that will pay in full, that will pay you your rates, not by the hour, not by low ticket, but it's like, I've seen your transformation and I want the same thing. Can you save me the hassle, save me the learning curve, do it with me, do it for me, or teach me how to do it, okay, and give me the same transformation. I've seen your transformation and I want that same exact thing. Can you help me? I'm willing to pay. And then some people might hear this and say, no, no one will be willing to pay me what I truly feel I should be paid. And I really want to challenge you on that, because for a long time I felt that my rates were just $50 per hour, because I've just been charging that for the longest time, and I never saw beyond that. I saw my teachers charge that, and so I charged that, and I never thought, but I was like, when I put everything together, I felt like this was worth 2-3 thousands. It's going to save people a ton of time. I'm going to get them to the results much faster. But I didn't have the confidence to charge that price point. So to my surprise, when I actually, I'm going to just do what I learned. I'm going to speak to people. I'm going to tell them about my offer. Okay, and I'm surprised that there weren't a lot of resistance. So you have to give yourself that opportunity to really believe that for all those years that you put into your own transformation, all the sacrifice that you've made to perfect your craft as an expert, a consultant or coach, you have to believe that all those years of effort that you put into building this, okay, to someone, to you it might just be something natural because you've been doing it for years, right? But to a beginner, to someone that needs your help, to someone that needs to cross the bridges, you know how painful it is when someone wants to cross the bridges that you have successfully crossed and they don't know how to do it? You know how painful that can be? So I've personally find that it's much easier to sell a high ticket item rather than say $100 program, because the low ticket buyers have a different mentality. They want this, they want that, they want to change this, they want to change that, they want to protect this, they want to protect. They have a lot of concerns, right? But people in the high ticket space, they get it. They get you, they research you, they have seen what you're capable of, and a lot of times the conversation is like, I know you have something to sell and I've seen your content. Can you just walk me through what the whole buyer conversation is like? Let's not beat around the bush or not pretend that you have nothing to sell, or I don't want. I have prospects said this to me before, like, Sean, why are you selling me your free thing? Why are you giving me a low ticket thing? Can you just give me your best? I want to buy your best thing. Like, let's not beat around the bush. I've had prospects call me out on that before. So and then these people that actually get you and they get your transformation and they pay in full, they are the easiest clients to serve. You put up a Zoom call, they always enter the Zoom room on time. They have seen the content in your members area. They have did the work. They have followed the steps exactly as you've laid out. They come prepared studying the content. They come prepared with questions. And that call, they keep it within the time, and they're so coachable. They're so easy to work with. And these clients, they stay for a long time, a lot of times for life. They grow with you, they follow your evolution. In the future, you create different offers, they continue to pay. They want to be part of your, they are like really your people, your tribe. and they might end up working with you down the road. And the best part about these high ticket clients is you don't need a lot of them. Sometimes 1 month, if you sell high ticket, you set your income goals, you realize that if I just have 5 calls a week, I enroll one of my ideal client, just 3-4 clients, it's more than enough for me to replace what I probably used to earn inside a cubicle, right? And most of these things that I've just said can be run on a simple Excel sheet. You don't need a fancy CRM, you don't need all these advanced things. It's the people that overcomplicate it. The people that overcomplicate this are either the ones that overanalyze or they have something to sell you. Okay, the simplest way you can do this to validate your first 3 offers, okay, can you sell your offer in its simplest form? Okay, because we are going to find 3 people. These are 3 people that I worked with when I first launched my very first high ticket offer in 2020. I knew these people, they were already on my social media. Okay, I reached out to them. Okay, can you think of 3 people, just the names and the face, you don't have to tell me, but think of them and say that, if I met them for coffee or I met them on Zoom and I told them, hey Coley, or hey Elaine, or hey Wesker, I have been through this journey. Okay, you have to live the transformation that you're selling. Okay, if you actually are not a coach or consultant or expert and you're still honing your craft, or you don't actually have a craft, don't do this, because then you will be selling something that you can make money initially, and then people will realize that, okay, you actually you don't have the goods, right? And then they're going to ask for refunds and they're not going to be sold, and your whole reputation is going to go down the drain. Like, why do that to yourself? Okay, so if you're actually not at the level to teach or help somebody, okay, just be honest with yourself and go and take the next 2, 3, 5 years to build your foundations and then actually get good at your craft. But if you actually have lived the transformation you're selling, actually, I can tell you, most of the people, the names, the 3 names that came to mind, if not the people that have been following you, you think they cannot tell what you have been through, what you're going through, what you're good at. You might not think that it's something, but I can tell you that these people that will eventually become your first batch of clients, actually this whole time, they may not have told you, they may not have talked about it, but actually they have seen your change, your progress, your ability, and they're probably just waiting for you to share, how did you do it? Maybe you found your dream partner. Maybe you actually changed through a lot of self-love. Maybe you studied human design, and you're very sharp, you're very good with reading, you are a great meditation teacher, and here you are thinking that, well, no one's going to buy my stuff, no one's going to see me as an expert. And I really will challenge you on that, because I'm pretty sure that if you're really good at what you do, there's people in your social circle that's been looking at you and they're just waiting for you to have that conversation with them. And when you do have that conversation with them, hey, let's not complicate this. And they ask you, okay, what was your transformation, and can I have the same kind of transformation that you have? In the simplest way, across a coffee table, how would you say it? Okay, here's how I reach out to these 3, my initial 3 clients, and I told them, actually I didn't even need to tell them, because they've been following my work for a while, and they knew that right at the beginning, like in 2018, I started here. I was down to my last $2. I was plagued with injuries. I closed my martial arts business down. A 2 years relationship that I had at the time had ended. I don't know why, but suddenly that year, everything came crashing down. And because I was in pain, I couldn't leave the house. My only option, remote sales. So I learned how to set, I learned how to close completely remote. And from here down to my last $2 with absolutely nothing. I barely had any reserves left. I was surviving on 1 meal a day. I worked my way up. Year after year, offer after offer, sales team after sales team, message after message, call after call, day after weeks, after months, after years. I got the results and the transformation I wanted. People just see the heaven at the end, but they don't see this, right? So because you have actually lived this transformation took me months and years, and during those months and years, people knew. And so when people see a transformation, even if you mess up on the scripts, even if you mess up on the funnels, even if you don't know what to say, even if you speak with an accent, you stammer, you stumble, you can't talk really well, you have all those flaws and weaknesses, but behind all of it, people can see you for the gifts that you have, because you have lived the transformation. If you haven't lived this, then don't sell it. Okay. So when I reached out to them, I just told them this was my point A and this was my point B, and this was the process that I gone through. Today, after years and years of refining, I have proper names for my programs. I have the proper tech. I have the proper team. I have all that. But the very first time I talked to these three, I didn't even have these graphics. I didn't even know what to call my program. I didn't even have any structure or any assets. I just had that raw conversation and say that, look, this is what I've gone through, and okay, I want to understand what is your journey. To land these 3 clients, okay, I had to speak with 20 people on Zoom. Some of them were in person, but most of them were on Zoom. Okay, and I simply reach out to them and say, and this is something you need to do as well. Okay, you say, hey, name. Okay, it can be a person online or offline. You say, and just be upfront. Okay, don't try to what I want to have coffee with you and then you spring on. Do not bait and switch. I repeat, do not bait and switch. Don't make them feel that you want to meet them for coffee and then you go and spring a sale on them. Okay, there's no pitch right here. There's no sales pitch. You got to really bear this in mind. There's no sales pitch. If you bait and switch people, once again, word's gonna spread. Okay, your reputation's gonna go down the drain, and you're not gonna have any business. Okay, you want to do this for the long term. Those that really took shortcuts, after a couple of months or years, they're gone. Okay, so you want to do this long term. Okay, your reputation, your integrity is the most important. So don't bait and switch. Okay, just reach out and say, hey, name, I'm working on a brand new program that I'm going to sell to others, not you. I'm going to sell out. I'm going to roll this out and sell it to others in the future, not to you. Okay, what I need your help with is 15 minutes for a quick interview, because you are kind of similar to the people that I believe I can help, and I want to take that 15 minutes to ask you some questions about your experiences and what you've gone through, what people in your scenarios need help with. And there's not going to be a pitch. Okay, there's no, I'm not going to sell anything, and in exchange for that time and your insights, okay, I'll send you a gift, right? A gift voucher, Starbucks, a free program, right? Really something thoughtful. Okay, don't give some random thing. Give something thoughtful, something useful, because they are giving you 15 minutes of their time and valuable insights. And if you don't reciprocate, they're gonna just give you, because your heart's not there, so they're not gonna give you quality answers. Okay, so make this really good. And yes, when you reach out, okay, to hit my first 20 interviews, okay, to get my first 3 paid clients, I needed 20 interviews. To get my 20 interviews, I reached out daily. Okay, and I really reached out thoughtfully, sincerely, but I reached out daily. You cannot just send one message here and then book a call there and say, Sean, I've tried. No, you really need the volume in the beginning, because you're at the founder stage of your business. You really need that hustle. I understand that you might be busy with life and work or school, but without this first 20, you will not get through that validation phase. Okay, so work hard daily. Okay, where did I write that? Yeah, work hard daily until you land 20 quality interviews. Those interviews where it doesn't work out and they're not really giving you the answers you need, they don't count. Okay, you want 20 quality interviews. Don't count the ones that don't count. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, Then from the 20 people that you interview, 3 of them, if you do this really well, based on the questions, okay, that I will share with you, when you get into such a deep conversation about their experiences, you know, Coley was really struggling because she was based in Hong Kong, but her hometown is in Australia, and her whole goal, okay, was to do what I did, to use remote sales to earn enough income for her to migrate back to Australia and be reunited with her family. But she was in pain because all the courses that were teaching sales were all quite theory based, and she didn't know how to implement. So you can imagine it's a very real pain for her. For Elaine, it's even worse. When Elaine first came to me, her whole face was red because she was crying, she was stressed. I've never seen a face so red before. Because she had paid 5 figures again in theory programs that didn't deliver, and then she was in shock. She's like, what am I going to do? And then same case for Wesker. Okay, he wanted to learn appointment setting, but he couldn't make it work. So I shared with them my story. Okay, and I didn't pitch. I said I'm doing research for a program that I will launch down the road. But because of our conversation, and because they knew my journey, actually after the call, they messaged me and said, you know, I thought a lot about our conversation, and I know you said you're not going to pitch me, but I am really curious about this offer that you're creating. And again, I was upfront. I said, look, I haven't created it yet. Okay, I haven't even started yet. I have absolutely nothing now. But you know, if it works, I'll put your name on the wait list, right? And the waiting is really for me to figure out how am I going to put this into a program. And once that is up, we can then have a second call where I will absolutely pitch you. How does that sound? And they were like, yeah, pitch me, just tell me the price. In fact, you know, I would consider myself in already, right? So a lot of this thing flowed really well for me, not because I was thinking of how to sell them, but first, they saw my transformation. I lived through it, okay, and I really went deep when I was interviewing them. Okay, the great interviews really go past 15 minutes and we go deep. And I really have to say right now that the interviews that went deep, the insights that they gave me a blueprint on how to market and describe my program in my marketing for the years and years to come. Because this was what my ideal clients were saying, and it gave me so much clarity. Can you imagine the first time I did this? I didn't know what to say. I already paid for all this advanced stuff, and I still didn't know what to say. It was what I thought was important. But these in-depth interviews showed me what my ideal clients were saying. Okay? So I want to share with you, when I taught this to one of my clients, okay, this lady sent me this question, which I feel that I should share here, because you might go through the same thing as you're trying to conduct your first 20 interviews to land your first 3 high-ticket clients. This lady said, "Hi Sean, I think I'm stuck. Do you think I narrowed down too much? Because I'm looking at my network, I can't find the single woman I can help at this moment. Most of them, the women in my network, are already married or have a boyfriend. I'm trying to connect with new people, but it will take time to get an interview. I want to nurture the relationship first because the new girls who are mostly sales reps, I asked to jump for a call. They refused. I don't think I have a big network. I need to connect with more people. I've been jumping on networking calls with men. It's easier to connect with them. Why?" So these are all clues, right? Or maybe because are they sales reps or mostly men? Are they too focused on their careers? Will they be open with the relationship? Men don't talk about this, right? So you can see that she understands women more. She's not sure how these men think, and she's not sure if she's trapped in this narrow niche. So she's like, oh my god, right? I don't even know what I know or what I don't know. So anytime you feel that you're in the same place where I know I got to interview 20 people to understand how I can help my potential clients better, because I want to know what they're thinking. I don't want to sell what I want to sell. I want to know what they're thinking. Okay. the real issue here is not about gender. This lady, I know that she's good at what she does. Really, she can help. Like, the essence of what she's selling is actually self-love, and that's a very powerful thing. A lot of people don't love themselves enough, so they go to extremes, they burn out, they suffer, not just in love, in their career, in their health. Like, it's a really big pain, but they don't know that the secret is self-love. But this lady knows. So it's not a gender thing, right? And it's not about their work as well. Everyone needs self-love. Without self-love, whether you're a remote sales rep or not, life is gonna be difficult, right? So the real issue here isn't the niche, isn't the gender, okay? But when you reach out to find your first 20 people to interview, you don't really want to interview your family and friends or people in your random social network, okay? Because it's not about the relationship. It's about, do these people actually invest in themselves? Do they realize that they have a problem? Because these 3 of my clients, they knew, they were already in pain, and they have been investing. What does this make them? They are in pain, they are investing, they are driven to succeed. This makes them ideal clients. So the first batch of 20 people that I interviewed, I did my best to find people like them. And you would most probably not find them around your social circle, because if they were in your social circle, they would already have connected with you, right? Especially if they are someone who invests in themselves, they will reach out and say, hey, I see you really getting results recently, and I would like to know more, right? But if you don't have access to such people, you have to go online, or maybe even offline, in meetup groups, in Facebook groups, on influencer networks, where the place where they show up, they're learning how to do marketing. Like these guys, my guys, they were all learning how to do sales already, right? They will attend events, online events, offline events. They will hang out in congregation points where they already wanting to learn human design, right? They're already in fitness groups. You can tell from their buyer behavior, because we want to deal with buyers. We don't want tire kickers, we don't want the freebie hunters, we don't want the low ticket audience. So don't put yourself in places where you'll find these people. Go to the places where they're already investing in themselves, and you can tell from the way they show up, you can tell from the way they comment, you can tell from their profiles. And yes, you need to put in the effort to grow this audience, either on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Even TikTok has tons of traffic, right? So as long as you're growing you're sharing your story, you're documenting your work, you're creating content, okay? And also these platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they allow you to grow your audience. You're not just putting out content. They start to follow you, they start to comment, they start to message you. All these combined is your audience growth. If you have a pen and paper right now on your notebook, write down audience growth, because your first 20 interviews, that first 100 people that you reach out to, they're probably not going to come from here. They're probably going to come from your audience growth. So the way I see it, this lady has been reaching out to the wrong audience, or she's been growing her audience in the wrong way, right? She needs to find people that, first of all, get her transformation, and they're already in places where they are looking for the transformation. If not, you have to sell them twice. First, you have to sell them on what is self-love, and then second, you have to sell them on your offer. Okay, but for these guys, I didn't need to sell them twice. They were already trying to master sales. They were already in pain. They were already investing in themselves. So the way that you build your audience growth counts. It has to be quality, not just quantity. You can't say, well, Sean, I already connected with 100 people today. I already added 100 friends. I already have 100 followers. If I look through those connections and I find that they're not really the people that you can help, they are not really looking for a solution, you kind of just added them for the sake of adding them, then they are really not audience growth. They are just random followers. They are not quality. Okay, so grow your audience. Okay, reach out, send them. Don't copy this. Okay, just adjust it, make it more conversational, make it more your voice, and say that, hey, it's Sean, and I've been closing sales for a few years now, and I managed to go from point A to point B, and there's nothing, I'm not here to sell anything. I actually need your help. I'm building this program that I'm launching down the road, not now. I'm still in the works. Okay, I have barely even started, and I need insights because I know that you have been trying to make it work as well. Do you have 15 minutes, to answer some interview questions to help me build my program? And in exchange, right, I will send you a gift. Okay, there's no pitch. Okay, so if you reach out to 100 people, your success rate is 1 in 5. Okay, you should be able to. I hit my 20 interviews in less than a week, and I worked really hard because I wanted to get to here fast. Okay, and you have to be actually good at what you do. Okay, you must live the transformation that you're selling. Okay, now once you have your first 3 clients, your question will be, well, Sean, let's say I interviewed 20 people, and then these 3 guys, they come to me and they say, Sean, I know you are launching something down the road and I would like to be part of it. So they pitch you, right? Then do you sell them? Do you charge them? Like for your first batch of beta program, okay, you might have more than 3, right? And you don't even need to spend anything at this point, right? Your Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram is free. Zoom, get the free account. If not, just use Google Hangout. PayPal is free. They just take a cut of what you earn. At this point, nothing has been spent. Maybe a computer, maybe a webcam, Wi-Fi. That's all you need to buy, okay? Which I think you probably have these already to watch my video right now, right? No sales page, no funnels, nothing. Just a simple Google Doc to write what you're about, or you just say it. Just meet them and say it. Meet them online, meet them offline, and say it. This is my program, right? And your question is, well, then do I charge them? Do I charge these 3 guys to be part of my beta program, or do I give it to them free, or do I give them free first and then pay later? It's up to you. Okay, whether you charge them nothing, something, or results first, pay later, it's not important. Okay, although I will share my perspective, okay, in a while, but that's not important. The most important thing is that when you help these first 3 guys, you cannot just take their money and then promise them a transformation and then leave them to figure out themselves. When they came to me, it's because they have gone through too many theory coaches that did that to them. That's why they came to me. Your first 3 clients are so important because these 3 success stories, they are going to go to their network. They're going to find more people like them. And they're going to tell people that Sean helped me achieve this. Sean helped me achieve this. Sean helped me achieve this. They are going to be your best marketers and salespeople for years and years to come. And it also shows you and your market and your audience that you're really good at what you do. Okay, so when you have your first batch of beta clients, whether they are free, whether they are paid, you must really help them get results. You cannot just leave them to figure it out. If not, why they come to you for help? Okay? This is Elaine's testimonial for me. Hello everyone, wanted to share my story. I am a stay-at-home mom. Okay, I'm passionate in this niche. I want to build a business in this niche. And throughout her time with me, she crossed $50,000 in sales. As a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, she has to help her family. Her husband has a family business. She has to take care of the family, and with the extra time, even in the beginning, her English wasn't this good. What you see here is a total transformation, and I had to help her how to sell. line by line how to say, word by word how to type, grammar errors. I really just help. Sometimes I don't even understand what she's saying, but you can see in the end, she's able to type properly, not using AI. This is her own words. She put in a lot of effort to help herself as well. Okay. Same for Coley. Coley is a very smart lady, but when it comes to like B2B closing, she's fantastic. But for some reason, B2C, there are a lot more emotional layers and she doesn't know how to navigate through them. So call after call, I would review her call, timestamps, minute, exact words, what to say, what not to say, and then she managed to close. Right? Same for Wesker. He had a lot more. His is more like internal mindset stuff. Right? So I needed to coach him through it. His limiting beliefs, need to reframe certain beliefs inside, and then he also can close. So now when I talk about my process, I don't just have my results to talk about. Now I have the second, third, and the fourth case study that I can use for years and years. Because sometimes my ideal clients will say, but Sean, I'm not you. I don't have your superpower. Like, great for you, good for you, your success is great, but like, I'm Elaine and these are my struggles, right? Or I'm Coley and these are the things that I have to go through, and I'm Wesker and these are the obstacles that I have. But now I have different case studies for different types of clients in different scenarios, right? So at this point, I haven't spent anything. It's just Facebook, Zoom, and that's it. I stripped away all these other things that were costing me, money down the drain, that I didn't even know why I got this thing. People just told me to get it. Like, if you get these, you can get more clients. And then you have this. And then you have bonus number 1. And you have bonus number 2. And I was like, whoa, there's so much value. I better buy it now. And in the end, actually, in its simplest, rawest form, can I sell it? If I can't do it, this is just going to fuel the flames in a very wrong way. Okay, so once again, if it feels like, well, Sean, there's a lot. Okay, so let's bring it back to simplicity. First, go through your transformation. Okay, get good. I'm not asking you to become world class or to be a super expert. No, like the milestones that you want to sell, cross it first. Okay, then your foundations, all free. Facebook is free, Instagram, YouTube, Zoom, the free account, Google Doc, just write what you have to say, and that's it. Grow your audience, make genuine connections with people. Some of them are going to reject you. That is okay. Don't take it personally, because you just need 20, and out of the 20 you just need a handful. In the end, my beta group had like 10-12 clients. That was a really good launch. Okay, and as you help them, now your offer is complete. Now you want to build your fancy sales page. After you have that income coming in from a validated offer, you can. You want to upgrade your microphone, your webcam, you want to make your background nicer, you want to spend money on a logo, like all that stuff. Now you can do it. You want to hire someone to help with your conversations. Now you can do it. But at the start, okay, you can get to a validated offer and run this whole entire business, enrolling 3-4 people per month. The whole thing can be ran on a simple Excel sheet, because what matters is that you're actually good at what you do, and when people work with you, they get the results they paid for. Okay, and the one last part, which is how do you charge, right? So you have 3 options. One is you can just outright tell them, look, if you want to be part of this program, it's going to be completely free. Okay, but you need to have terms and conditions, because some people, when they hear it's completely free, they're either not going to do the work, or they're going to come up with all sorts of things that are not going to be very ideal for you. So you have to say that yes, it's free, but it's not free, because you need to pay me in terms of your work that we will agree upon, which is, if I help you for free, let's say I help these guys for free, right? And I tell them, well, you need to reach out to 5 business owners per day. and I'll put it in black and white. Like if I don't see you prospecting 5 business owners per day, Mondays to Fridays, then I'm not going to coach you for free anymore. Is that a deal? Right? Because if they don't actually put in the effort, they're not going to get the results. Right? So you need to write down the terms. Yes, it's free, but I expect this amount of whatever your terms is. If you need them to lose weight, you need them to hit the gym, you need to eat right, you need to state that yes, it's free, but let's agree on your deliverables, your KPIs, the things that you have to promise me in this program. If not, you're out. Okay, so it's free but not free because you're paying with your energy, commitment, and energy. If you think Elaine didn't commit, will she get her results, right? If Coley did not implement the reviews that I did for her, do you think she'll get results? If Wesker didn't make the effort to close himself, to shift his own beliefs, do you think he can get these results, right? So if it's free, you still have to make an agreement, and you have to put it out in black and white so that there's no misunderstandings. Okay. For Elaine, I actually help her for free. And you know what? After she made all these sales, she didn't tell me. And one day, I checked my bank account. There was extra $3,000 inside the bank. And I was like, why is there extra money? And then I checked, why did Elaine send me the money? Okay, so she told me that, you helped me for free at the start during your beta launch, and you didn't ask for anything except for my work, and now that I've made this much money, I feel that you should be paid what your program's worth. Okay. If you want to charge upfront, you also can. If you're really confident, you can charge upfront and say that, well, my launch is going to be this amount. Okay. When it's fully launched, it's going to be this amount. Okay. But as of right now, there's a discount, right? There's an 80% discount. There's a whatever you want to charge, 50%, 80%. Okay. That's entirely up to you, because you also have to be compensated for all this work that you're going to be doing for them. So pick the strategy that feels the most aligned with you, with the least resistance. Or if you need my input, you can just reach out and have a conversation with me and share with me, like, which category do you belong, what's your gift and superpower, what's your process like. Okay, because sometimes I share all this and your implementation, okay, you might have a different experience. So reach out via social media and share with me your experience so I can continue to support you on this. Okay, and if you want my full method on how to get this done, I have a 5-day program. It's called the Close Method. Okay, it's on my YouTube, and it is a paid workshop. Okay, but most of it, the previews, okay, should be enough for you to see more of my methods. Okay, how to build your offer, how to build your audience growth, how to set up your setting and closing scripts, how to keep it bare bones. Okay, I will put the link to the Close Method in the description. Okay, watch the videos over there, and then any questions, just reach out on social media and let me know. Until next time, it's Sena, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.